Dear Rigpa Sangha, I address this letter to all my students and especially to those who hold positions of responsibility on the board of directors of the different Rigpa organizations worldwide. You are of course aware of the allegations that have been brought against me, which have now been made widely public on the internet. This has brought shock and consternation not only to me, but also to a great many of you who are my students and who serve Rigpa and its vision. I have already communicated to you my decision to enter retreat and step back from the work of Rigpa, in view of the turbulence that these accusations have caused. This instinct has been confirmed to me by many of the masters whom I turn to for spiritual advice and by my most trusted students. I feel that in so doing, space will be created for the right kind of clarity to be brought to bear. Furthermore, given my deep concern for you all and the work of Rigpa, which you have all contributed towards immensely, I feel the best course of action for me now is to formally announce my retirement as spiritual director of Rigpa. I do not wish the criticism that has been brought against me to jeopardize all that. Therefore, with this letter, I state clearly that I will with immediate effect retire as spiritual director from all the organizations that bear the name of Rigpa and that have grown and developed in different countries around the world. From the very early days of Rigpa, we have benefited from visits, teachings and blessings from some of the greatest Tibetan Buddhist masters of our times. I think of Dzogchen Rinpoche, Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, Padu Rinpoche, Tralshik Rinpoche, Khenchen Jigme Phuntsok, Nyingma Ken Rinpoche and many others who uphold the profound Nyingma and Dzogchen lineage. Equally, and in the spirit of Rigpa, we have had the immense honor of inviting the most eminent masters of the other great Tibetan Buddhist traditions, and especially His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness Sakya and Gyalwang Karmapa. This is because I have always considered Rigpa as a vehicle for the enlightened intent of all of these great beings. I constantly feel their presence as a guiding light for our work, and I pray to them now for their blessings. Whether or not I serve as the spiritual director of Rigpa, their vision of bringing the ultimate wisdom of the Buddha to the world must remain firm and continue to flourish. As has always been my intention, I will now hand over the guidance of Rigpa to a body of my most trusted students, who are representative of our wonderful Sangha, and to a group of Lamas who have always held the best interests of Rigpa in their heart. Please understand that I am not and never will abandon you. I will continue to share teachings with you and to guide you while on my retreat and beyond. I will keep you in my heart and prayers each and every day. I have a solemn commitment to help bring you to enlightenment, and I will never renege on that. I place my trust in you all to remain firm as a Sangha, to never stray from the true path of Dharma, and to keep compassion in your hearts at all times. When that moment comes, the work of Rigpa will need to continue, undiminished. I see the steps that I am taking now as a preparation for that day. It is nothing to be fearful of, rather something we should approach with courage, positivity and openness. I thank you all for the trust and support that you have shown me, and your kind and heartfelt messages. I feel our spiritual bond is unshakable. This instills in me a deep confidence for our collective future. With my love and blessings, Sogyal Rinpoche.
And goodness in ourselves. So Buddhism very developed that goodness in us. So that whole basis starts with the goodness in us, the godliness. We call it the Buddha nature. That's why what's amazing is that the emphasis is more on the goodness, that our true nature is pure, like the sky. Even the clouds come. If you go beyond the clouds, the sky is unchanging. The goodness is never staying, that fundamental goodness that in all of us, the unchanging goodness. That is what the Buddhists believe. I remember one of my masters master, Kagyu Rinpoche used to say, rest in natural great peace. This exhausted mind, beaten helplessly by karma and neurotic thoughts, like the relentless fury of the pounding waves in the infinite ocean of samsara. Rest in natural great peace.
Sogyal Rinpoche Youtube.
Much first in the Buddhist meditation is to really to rest, to settle, just as water, if you don't stir it. There's a very famous saying which comes from the great master of the past. When I heard this about 35 years ago, it had an extraordinary impact on me. That in Tibetan is very beautiful. It says Chumanyuk Natang Semmachunade, which means just as water, if you don't stir it, will become clear. In the same manner, nature of our mind is such that if you do not manipulate, fabricate, because trouble with us is we manipulate, we fabricate our minds through too much thinking. As many people say, many authorities on mental health say, the root cause of all our mental suffering is too much thinking. And if you think too much, it stinks. Through the practice of meditation, the cloud-like thoughts and emotions dissolve and clear, revealing the sky-like nature of mind. Out of the sky-like nature of mind shines forth one's true nature like the sun. The sun has wonderful qualities. It has tremendous warmth, which is like the love, which is love and compassion. It has tremendous light, brilliance, which is wisdom. So what it reveals, you see, through this calm abiding, through this peace, meditation of peace, just as water, if you don't stir it, will become clear, mind left unaltered, will find its true peace, and then find the contentment, the inner happiness that comes from within. And when mind finds that peace in the state of calm abiding, that out of that one's true nature, one's own wisdom and compassion will manifest. Thereby, not only it purify us, benefit ourselves, we can then benefit and serve others.